What?
It's the best underwater shot, guys.
Hold on. Guys, as you know, there are some SGS Starfish in the 10-gallon budget nano tank as well as a 45-gallon tank. So, Mighty Nano Tank hooked us up with this Harlequin Shrimp that he got going on. So the idea is to let him kind of stay in the 10-gallon tank to clean out all the SGS Starfish. And I'm gonna move him to the 45, and then once it's all done, then we'll give it back to that ban, or we'll pass it on to another reefer. So Emily, can you slowly pour the, well, not slowly, but just like submerge it in the water and just let it out, ideally into some corals? Not the anemone. Okay, yeah, let's not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, there he goes. There you go. And right now, this little fella, well, not little anymore, but this fella is the biggest inverse animal in this tank. Much larger than the porcelain crab or the clownfish, and I got a nice collection of sexy shrimps in here.
He's already eating.
So the interesting thing that Ben said is that as soon as he added this Harlequin Shrimp into the tank, all the SGS Starfish started moving, like crawling up the tank, trying to get away. It's almost like they know there's a predator. Wait, what the heck is this? A piece of, what is this? Pandora? Palys? Fell off, which is fine. You got a bunch of those. Yeah, alright, well, I guess we'll just let this little shrimp settle in. The next morning, guys, this is wild. I've heard this happen from Mighty Nano Tank, but I thought it was just like a one-off thing. Look at all the SGS. This never happens before. Maybe I find one SGS star on the glass, but look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They absolutely know. 7. They absolutely know, and they're trying to get away from this little dude right here.
1 week later.
So he pretty much cleared out this 10-gallon tank of any SGS Starfish. It's been clear, I think, almost a week already. So now I think it's time to move this little shrimp to the 45-gallon tank downstairs to continue the excellent work that he's doing. Okay, so now we're gonna move the Harlequin Shrimp to the 45-gallon tank. Okay, so now we're gonna move the 45-gallon. Okay, so now we're gonna move the Harlequin Shrimp to the 45-gallon tank because he completely cleared out this tank. I'm gonna use this Ziploc bag simply because it's a little bit easier to manage, and I don't need to use.
Don't scare my measles.
Man, I actually can't really get to him. I don't think. Let's see how easy it is. I don't think they have a pincher.
I think they do.
Do they?
Attack him! Attack him!
No, dude seems pretty
Why
gentle.
don't you just use the net?
Oh, look at that! Can you take a picture? This guy is pretty agreeable, so I kind of scoop him up with my hand. And let me try to deposit him into the bag. And I don't like to use the net again, because I feel like these guys may get snagged by the net. Come on, go in. And with Ziploc bag, it's just a little bit easier to manage. I'm gonna float the whole Ziploc bag in a 45-gallon tank first, and then we're gonna just drop it in a container, and then we'll drip it from there. So right now, just the water, the temperature acclimate part. And I wanna make sure I do a good job because this guy is gonna go from tank to tank to help the local reef squad with the SGS Starfish issue.
Moments later.
Alright guys, so the bag has floated for a while, and I slowly added more and more water from the 45-gallon to this bag. So now it is fully acclimated, at least I hope so. I'm gonna release this shrimp into this tank. Ideally, you want to do it when the light is out so that it has a chance to kind of really find a good hiding spot or hide from the fish. But because I have such a big anemone there, and also got some of these pretty aggressive belly mini mesh anemone, I want to do it while there's light so the shrimp can see and not wander into the anemone. I'm a little careful, I'm a little wary about the foulfish and the wrasse because they may hunt smaller shrimps. So I'm gonna release it as close to some of the crevices as possible to give it a good chance. Oh shit, you see Yashagobi just jumped. One thing I'm really curious about is whether all the starfish in this tank is going to dude, what's the no Yashagobi, no. Whether a starfish in this tank is gonna start climbing the wall like it did in 10-gallon tank. Goby jumped a little bit, which is really weird, so I'm just gonna put a cover up just in case.
Yeah,
I do not want to risk the Yasha not jumping out. It's really weird. I'm keeping an eye out on the fish, especially the wrasse and the foulfish. Look at the foulfish. It's looking. It sees it.
Eat it.
Yeah, the
Go.
Goby's jumping. It's really weird. All right, so whenever I add something new in the tank, oh look, it's scrambling. I like to feed the tank a little bit, kind of distract the fish so they don't bother the newcomers too much. And to make sure they're also not hungry, so they're not hunting for food. I'm really afraid they'll go for the shrimp. I think it should be okay. Found a good spot. I'm just afraid it's gonna be totally exposed. And I'm always stuck behind the zoas. I'm slightly concerned about the yashagobi. Why is it jumping so much? It's weird. I've never seen it do that.
To here.
Where's the... Are both of them back there? Just one, right?
Yeah, that one is out.
Yeah, the male is like hopping around, jumping. And here's a Harlequin Shrimp, kind of exploring the tank a little bit, trying to find a good hiding space. The tank mates in this tank won't be as friendly as a 10 gallon. In the 10 gallon, this guy is kind of like the king, it's big. But in this tank, we got the pistol shrimp, so I'm hoping that this little fella doesn't wander into the barrel right there. Pistol shrimp is gonna destroy this guy. And then I also got to compete with the silver belly wrasse. So far, the wrasse did not seem to notice the shrimp is here. I also got to watch out for the emerald crab, but I think for the most part should be okay. They're about the same size. Uh-oh, shrimp is coming back out. And it's doing his little dance. I am not sure how the filefish, like this guy, these are the radial filefish, will take to the Harlequin shrimp, but we will find out. Basically, there's a lot of unknown with this shrimp being in this tank. But the good thing is that this shrimp is a decent size, and they're actually usually pretty reclusive when the light is out. They usually only they're more active when it's dark, so that's a good thing. And as you can see, it immediately went into the cave or the crevice. All right, little fella, go hunt for starfish. Eat up on those Asterina starfish. But yeah, one thing I really wonder is if the Asterina starfish gonna behave the same way as in the 10-gallon tank. Basically overnight, all these starfish seems to have sensed there's a predator in this tank, and they all started crawling onto the glass.
4 to 6 more days later.
I really think there's no starfish left in this tank. There used to be a lot, but recently I haven't seen any, if at all. And one thing to note is that no starfish climb up on the glass after what 3 days now, 4 days. So that leads me to believe that all the starfish is gone. Maybe something hunted it down, either the foul fish or something else. I don't know. As a result, there is no starfish, no food for this Harlequin shrimp. And I pinged Miss Average Reefer because like she has a lot of these Asterina Star in her tank, and she said that just swing by and we'll pick some up. Oh, there's a wrasse. I was worried about the wrasse, whether wrasse is gonna hunt the shrimp. But looks like for the most part the silver belly wrasse has been just ignoring the Harlequin shrimp, which is good. But the next order of business is to find some food for the shrimp.
Here's the starfish!
Alright guys, so we're back from Miss Average Reefer's house, and in my hand I got a bunch of these Asterina starfish. Certain species of these Asterina starfish has a tendency to kind of bother zoas. It's a debate whether they're eating the zoas or just bothering them. From what I understand is that it could be the microalgae that's around the zoas. And the way starfish eat, as you know, is that they kind of digest the food outside the body first and then kind of bring them in. But the problem is that those digestive fluid also kind of melt away the zoas. At least that's what I read. There's no confirmation, so don't take my words on it. Anyways, certain types of Asterina starfish bother zoas. That's all you need to know. So what a lot of people do is enlist the help of a Harlequin shrimp like we have here. And what they'll do is to clear the reef tank of these starfish really quickly. And then the owner or the reef keeper will pass the shrimp on to somebody else who needs it locally. And that's what we're doing. I thought there's a lot of these starfish in this 45-gallon tank. At least there were, but for some reason they're all gone. So I don't want this little shrimp to starve until I pass them on to the next person that needs it. So that's why I picked up all these starfish from Miss Average Reefer, and that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna try to hand feed these guys. Got one of these little fella right here, and let's see, what's the best way? Right here, and let me just stick it in there. And this guy is really friendly.
Huh?
See that? So if you look at them, well, it's kind of hard to see now. They actually have 2 spikes that comes out and kind of stab the starfish. It sounds nasty once they capture them. But because the Asterina Star is so small, you probably did not even see that. But when you get to feed like a larger starfish, like a chocolate chip starfish, you see that happening. All right, here's number 2.
want it. Ooh.
Look at this Harlequin shrimp just strolling in the zoa garden. May as well have somebody enjoying the garden.
One week later.
See who's here? Yay!
So DC Reefer, Warren's gonna help take in the Harlequin shrimp. There we go. Friendly little fella from Mighty Nano Tank's tank. We got a couple starfish left over from Miss Average Reefer's tank that's in here. Like snack for the road. And DC Reefer is kind enough to take him in for his school tank because got some extra star in there to depopulate.
Plenty for him to eat. He actually ate one just now. It was 3 in there, now it's only 2. I tried to do it behind his back. I told Emily,
God. What?
It's the best underwater shot, guys.
Hold on, you put the lens underwater as well.
The best underwater, yeah.
Man. Okay, so do you actually notice a difference, like shooting like this?
I do. It's more clear. I'll show you guys. Maybe get Monkey to do it for us one time.
I'm scared. I know the iPhone's supposed to be waterproof.
Definitely waterproof.
Salt water.
That looks awesome, actually.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I leave the water does get inside the lens.
Yeah.
So I just take it
rinse
off
it
and
off.
yeah.
Pretty cool, right? But they,
Especially for a small tank.
some people say they bother the zoas. I have no proof. I'm not sure if they do or do not. Some of the zoas you notice are closed up.
Yeah.
Phosphate seems okay, and sometimes I do see the shrimps on there like that. But honestly, I don't know. Kind of torn. I figure like without the shrimp, the tank would look a little bit not as active.
Yeah. You ever think about putting a pistol shrimp and go up there?
Nah, I'm afraid the goby's gonna jump.
Oh,
That's what I'm afraid
you're
of.
not gonna do it net.
Yeah, I like the open look. It's a fun little tank. I like it. But I think this is also coming down.
Really?
Everything's coming down. These guys are trying to convince me that this is not a snake. This is a lizard with no legs. Isn't it what we call a snake?